Paralyzed by an alien device, he was taken aboard a mysterious ship, a creature with an inhuman appearance, technology beyond human comprehension, and other humans motionless, trapped inside ships. He was transported to a red planet, filled with alien flowers and blue rivers, but hiding a terrifying secret. This is the real case that shocked ufology, the abduction in Salzburg, a story that challenges everything we believe we know about the universe. Have you ever wondered what really happens in the skies and the seas? What lies hidden beyond what the human eye can see? Welcome to Immaculate Constellation, where the mysteries of the cosmos come to life. Here, we go beyond science, exploring accounts of encounters with beings from other worlds, sightings that defy all explanations, and theories the government doesn't want you to know. Get ready to question everything you believe about the universe. The truth is out there, and we're here to chase it. Subscribe now, because the reality you know may never be the same again. Salzburg, a historic and culturally rich Austrian city, served as the setting for one of the most enigmatic accounts in modern ufology. In 1951, during the American occupation following World War II, the city was under the supervision of the United States military forces. Known for its Baroque architecture, Salzburg is also the birthplace of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1996. Despite its tranquil atmosphere and artistic legacy, this city was the stage for an episode that would intrigue researchers and enthusiasts of extraterrestrial phenomena for decades. In this context, an American soldier, whose name remains anonymous due to the nature of his account, was part of the United States occupation forces in Austria. His duties included escorting a professor who taught at a base in Linz, a city approximately 132 kilometers from Salzburg. This usually predictable routine took an unexpected and terrifying turn on a May night. On May 15, 1951, the soldier completed another escort duty. After safely returning the professor to his residence in Salzburg, he began his journey back to the military complex. It was a dark night with minimal public lighting, and the moon was not visible, creating a dense and oppressive atmosphere. Deciding to shorten his route home, the soldier chose a shortcut, a decision that would lead him to an unexpected and inexplicable encounter with the unknown. This event, recounted years later with unsettling detail, marked the beginning of a journey that transcended the limits of human comprehension. The soldier's experience would become one of the first documented cases of extraterrestrial abduction, raising questions about our perception of reality and expanding debates about the existence of life beyond Earth. The walk along the shortcut seemed routine, but the soldier began to notice something unusual as he progressed. Around 11:20 p.m., while passing a section of road surrounded by bushes, he spotted a silhouette among the leaves. Initially, he assumed it was a person due to its height, approximately 1.5 meters. However, the situation quickly became unsettling when the figure emerged from the shadows holding a thin, elongated object resembling a baton. Before he could react, the soldier noticed the figure pointing the baton directly at him. A clicking sound echoed in the air, and his body was instantly paralyzed. Despite maintaining consciousness and the ability to move his eyes, he lost all control over his movements. It felt as though he might fall, but the paralysis kept him upright, unable to fight or flee. The dim lighting made it difficult to identify the figure clearly, but the soldier noticed it wore some sort of helmet. The mysterious entity approached, carrying a square device that it placed on the soldier's chest and secured tightly on his back. Even though immobilized, the soldier could register details of his surroundings. The sound of dogs barking in the distance reinforced the perception that what was happening was real and not a product of his imagination. With an agile movement, the figure began leading him to a nearby area, while the soldier, unable to resist, could only observe the events unfolding. Moments later, he was lifted off the ground by an invisible force. Floating in a controlled manner, the soldier was carried into the interior of a metallic, disc-shaped structure with a translucent dome. It was an object he had never seen before, And at that moment, he realized he was in the presence of something extraordinary. What had seemed like a simple walk had transformed into the beginning of an extraterrestrial abduction experience. As soon as he entered the ship, the soldier noticed that the environment was completely dark. Still immobilized, he could feel the firm floor beneath his feet, but his mind struggled to comprehend what was happening. Initially, he thought he might have been captured by spies with advanced technology, an idea that made sense in the political context of the time, marked by the Cold War. However, the appearance and movements of the figure before him suggested something far beyond any known human technology. Observing more closely, he realized that the ship's ceiling allowed a clear view of the stars. The material appeared transparent, possibly glass or some unknown type of plastic. Despite the ominous environment, the creature seemed to know exactly what it was doing. It carried a device resembling the baton that had paralyzed him while manipulating controls and levers. The soldier noticed that, as terrifying as the situation was, he felt strangely calm, as though the paralysis also affected his emotions. Gradually, the soldier began to regain partial mobility. He moved his fingers and eventually sat on the floor. It was at this moment that he could clearly observe the creature that had taken him. The being had a cylindrical body, proportionally short limbs, and an elongated head that extended backward. Its eyes were large and compound, reminiscent of a fly's. The skin was pale, almost translucent, and it wore a matte silver outfit that appeared snug against its body. The creature made no attempt to communicate. Its entire focus was on operating the ship's controls. Meanwhile, the soldier tried to absorb every detail of the environment. He noticed that the walls were curved, suggesting that the ship's interior was circular. Although the structure appeared solid, there was something ethereal about its design. For the soldier, it felt more like a vivid nightmare than a real experience. Yet the immersion into the darkness of the universe, visible through the translucent ceiling, heightened the strangeness of the situation. After a few minutes inside the ship, the soldier felt a slight tremor under his feet. The creature pulled a lever, and he experienced a sudden acceleration. It was similar to the feeling of being in an elevator ascending rapidly, but everything was completely silent, without the slightest mechanical sound. Looking through the transparent ceiling, he could observe stars moving swiftly, confirming that he had left Earth. Moments later, he saw the moon closer than he had ever imagined. Every detail of its craters and surface appeared so clear that it felt within reach. Attempting to rationalize what was happening, the soldier glanced again at the creature, which remained focused on operating the ship. Despite the absurdity of the situation, he couldn't shake the sensation that he was dreaming. However, the warmth of his body, the pressure of the floor beneath his feet, and even the sounds of his breathing confirmed that it was all real. He observed the interior of the ship, noticing that everything seemed to be made of translucent material, including the floor, which revealed the infinite void of space below. The journey continued at incredible speed until a new object appeared ahead, a red planet. The soldier was astounded by the landscape that began to emerge as the ship gently decelerated. As they approached, he saw green and gray fields, blue rivers flowing in straight lines, and vast fields of red flowers resembling giant sunflowers. The view was both paradisiacal and alien. He also noticed cylindrical structures protruding from the ground, resembling chimneys, though they emitted no smoke. The ship glided gently to a landing on an elevated platform. Surrounding the soldier were dozens of similar ships, varying in color from silver to gold and gray. The creature pulled another lever, and an opening formed in the ship. It exited, floating like a leaf to the surface below. The soldier, still cautious, remained inside, trying to process the magnitude of what he was witnessing. Observing his surroundings more closely, the soldier noticed other creatures similar to the one that had captured him. They moved among the nearby ships, most appearing occupied with technical operations. In some of the ships, there were visible windows through which the soldier could identify human figures. In one, he saw a man, a woman, and two children. in another, an adult couple. None of these people, however, seemed to react as though they were in a state of trance. The sight of these humans filled the soldier with conflicting emotions. On one hand, he felt less alone, but on the other, he questioned why they were there and whether he would share their fate. He considered waving or attempting to get their attention, but fear of drawing attention from the creatures stopped him. He continued observing, hoping for some sign of interaction, but all the humans remained motionless, like statues. Looking at the surrounding fields, the soldier noticed that the red flowers stretched as far as the eye could see. The landscape was surreal, a combination of natural beauty and artificial elements that defied comprehension. He began to wonder if this planet could be Mars, given its dominant reddish hues. However, the paradisiacal elements made him doubt, as there were no known reports or scientific speculations describing such a landscape. As he admired the scenery, the creature that had taken him returned to the ship. Without any verbal or gestural communication, it pulled another lever, closing the opening. The ship gently lifted off, and the soldier realized that his time on the planet had ended, leaving him with no clear answers to the questions that had consumed him. The ship began its journey back at immense speed, once again traversing the silent expanse of space. The soldier tried to organize his thoughts, but the succession of improbable events he had witnessed made logical reasoning nearly impossible. He watched through the translucent surface as the red planet receded, followed by the moon, until finally, Earth came into view. The familiarity of the blue planet brought him temporary relief, but the fear of the unknown still loomed large. Upon entering Earth's atmosphere, the ship slowed significantly. It eventually landed in the same location from which it had taken off, near the military complex in Salzburg. With the same methodical precision, the creature removed the device from the soldier's chest, allowing him to regain full mobility. However, before releasing him, it pointed the baton at him once more, as though communicating that the event should remain a secret. At that moment, a dog began barking in the distance, seemingly startling the creature. Disoriented, it pressed the device repeatedly, but to no apparent effect. Taking advantage of the distraction, the soldier pretended to remain paralyzed. The creature, visibly agitated, quickly gathered its equipment, ran back to the ship, and vanished into the night sky. After ensuring he was alone, the soldier ran home. His wife, worried about his delay, immediately noticed his distressed state. When she asked what had happened, he decided not to share anything, fearing ridicule or being deemed insane. This silence marked the beginning of years of reflection and uncertainty about what had truly occurred that night. In the days following the event, the soldier did everything he could to resume his routine, but the experience haunted him constantly. He avoided passing through the same shortcut where he had been confronted and distanced himself from discussions about supernatural or unknown phenomena. Even so, the details of that night remained vivid in his memory. He often found himself reflecting on the creature, the ship, and the other humans he had seen. Despite his fear, he felt an increasing need to share his story. However, he had much to lose. As a member of the armed forces, his reputation and career were at stake. He knew that recounting such an experience could result in ridicule or even questions about his mental stability. For this reason, he chose to remain silent for years, bearing the burden of the secret alone. In moments of introspection, he wondered whether the incident had a greater purpose, but the lack of answers only deepened his intrigue. It was not until December 1957, 6 years after the abduction, that the soldier decided to share his story. He contacted the Canadian newspaper Prince George San and provided a detailed account of what had happened. Even so, he insisted on anonymity to protect his identity and that of his family. In the interview, he explained that he did not expect to live much longer and felt the need to reveal the truth before it was too late. His account was published, but as expected, it drew both skepticism and speculation. The decision to disclose his experience brought some relief, but it also heightened his fears of retaliation. He mentioned believing that the creatures possessed technology so advanced that they could locate him if they wished. Nevertheless, his account was thoroughly documented and became one of the first known cases of alien abduction, influencing similar stories that would emerge in the years to come. The Salzburg case is widely regarded as a milestone in alien abduction reports, not only because of its detailed account, but also due to its timeline, which predates other famous cases, such as the 1961 incident involving Betty and Barney Hill. The soldier's experience introduced elements that would later become hallmarks of abduction stories: induced paralysis, the presence of advanced technological devices, and encounters with humanoid beings of peculiar appearance. The description of the creatures also stood out for its uniqueness. These beings, with their alien physical characteristics and methodical, silent behavior, differed significantly from popular depictions of extraterrestrials at the time. Moreover, the sight of other humans aboard the ships raised questions about potential mass abductions and the purpose of these experiences. Details about the ship's translucent interior and the paradisiacal planet visited by the soldier continue to spark intrigue and speculation. Since its publication, the soldier's account has been the subject of analysis by ufologists and enthusiasts of UFO phenomena. While the lack of physical evidence makes verification difficult, the consistency of the details and the emotional impact reported by the protagonist gave the case an unusual level of credibility for its time. The fact that the soldier remained anonymous also added to its authenticity, as there appeared to be no intention of personal gain. Today, the Salzburg case is remembered as one of the most intriguing accounts in ufology history. It raises fundamental questions about the possibility of extraterrestrial life and the intentions of these entities toward humanity. For many, the soldier's experience serves as a reminder that there is still much to discover about the universe and our place within it. Although the complete truth about the incident may never be known, his story remains a powerful symbol of the mystery and curiosity surrounding extraterrestrial phenomena.